groups. And I think the public has a right to know.
Again, transparency.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the public has a right to know because this is potentially
Just tell us, we'll decide, right?
Exactly. This is the only sort of nonpartisan information you actually get about the campaign. Everything's sort of focus group and tested and everything else. But when we know who's behind these groups, that's a way for us to really evaluate who's speaking and the message that's being delivered. And right now we're being denied that right.
And so for what about, Mike, I just hate to interrupt, but what about for the uninformed voter who's just being indoctrinated by the ads? And of course, there's something behind those ads, and then you can't find out. You don't know if you're somebody who is interested.
And that's the problem right now, is that people are unfortunately not going to find out. And what we're doing actually sometime later this week is we'll actually be filing a complaint.
Breaking news right here on the program. Go ahead, Mike Dean, announce it.
We're going to file a complaint against the Minnesota Family Council for failing to disclose its records properly, both in terms of expenditures that it made, but then also in terms of contributions that was received. Over the last several months, the Campaign Finance Board has come up with a series of guidance statements that require groups to disclose if the money is being solicited directly in support or against a ballot campaign. And they have violated that aspect of the law. So we're going to be filing a complaint to hold them accountable.
Now, the National Organization for Marriage, who is on the yes side of this amendment and is a national organization, they kind of came out and said, we don't think the Minnesota disclosure laws are
even apply to us.
Yeah, are legal. Do you see a legal battle coming over that?
Oh, I think this is going to inevitably end up in courts, and that's actually what has happened in other states. So, for example, in Maine, you have the same sort of scenario. The National Organization for Marriage basically spent all this money, didn't disclose any of it. The state came in, Attorney General, and actually sued them, and they've actually been in litigation for the last 2 years now. And so my worry going forward is that we're going to go through between now and November and not know where any of this money is coming from, at least on the Vote Yes side. The Vote No side has done a fairly good job. They disclose about 78% of their individual donors as part of that. And I think the public really has to question, what are these groups really trying to hide behind this? You know, they've made sort of allegations that they're going to be intimidated, and pointing to examples in California where after Prop 8, some of the donors to Proposition 8 were intimidated. But the courts have reviewed this and found out those arguments to really not have any merit at all.
Mike